Okay, Marcelino. So, this interview is going to be for my philosophy class, alright?
Mm-hmm.
So, just to start off, what do you know about philosophy? Or, like, what is that to you?
I know there's somebody called.
Philosophy.
No, I know there's somebody called.
You've heard of the word, right?
Plato.
Plato?
There's somebody called Plato.
Yeah, that's right.
And Homer.
And Homer. Yeah, what about them? Or you just heard the...
I know that they were like philosophers or something.
What is philosophy? Like thinking? Or like building machines? Or what?
Like poems and stuff.
Poems?
And stuff.
Speak louder, alright?
Like grammar.
Speak louder.
Like grammar.
Grammar? No. Philosophy is like more thinking. Okay, so in my philosophy class, we're reading about these two guys. One of them is Descartes, and the other one is Humes, David Humes. Two different guys. Well, we'll just call them Humes. Okay, so Descartes has this thought experiment. So basically, a thought experiment is like this experiment you have in your head. You just think about it. Like, for one, so you can kind of understand. There's just one we're learning a while back. They said, would you save a baby from drowning? It feels like right there. It feels right there in a little pool. Right there. And right across the room right here. If a little baby drowning in a puddle, would you save it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Anyone would do that. But it's just in your head. It's not real life.
Wait, was it baby Hitler?
No, Marcelino. It's not Hitler.
Oh, then I would save it.
It feels right there, right? Okay, what if it was near 7-Eleven?
There's nothing near 7-Eleven that's water.
Marcelino, it doesn't matter. Just pretend. That's why it's an experiment.
Oh, okay. Why would 7-Eleven make a difference though? Like, why would it?
I'm talking about the distance.
Oh. Well, how would I know that baby was drowning there?
You just know. You get a phone call. Someone calls you and said, hey, there's a baby drowning near 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Can you go save it?
Yeah.
Right? It's not that far.
It's like 2 blocks away.
Okay, so what if someone calls you and they say, hey, there's a baby drowning downtown?
No.
No?
What?
You see,
If I had a car-
it gets tricky, right?
If I had a car, I would.
Okay, someone calls you and they said, hey, there's a baby drowning in Iowa. You know where Iowa is, right?
Yeah.
It's a close
yeah,
it's a close
I know,
state.
But it's a different
It's far though.
Why isn't there anybody else there that sees it?
No, you're the
Closer?
only one that can save it. But that was just an example of a thought experiment. Like, there's things that get your head thinking, get your brain thinking.
Oh.
Okay, so one of the ones we're learning is floating man. So imagine a floating guy, like in the air. He's just in the air floating. Like if I was floating in air right now, like just floating. But I can't feel anything. I can't smell. I can't hear. Like nothing. You know your 5 senses?
Yeah.
Nothing. You can't have any of that because you're just floating there. And then this basically tells us that we are this basically, so do you understand what I'm saying though?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what am I saying?
He's floating there meaningless.
Huh?
He's just floating there meaninglessly.
But he has this one thing that he can do. He can think. Does he exist?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's thinking, and you need a brain to think.
Oh my God, Marcelino. Oh, you're right. Okay, wow. I didn't know you were this smart. Cover your face, I don't get you sick.
You I can't get sick.
It's contagious.
Kaiser can't get
Okay.
sick.
So, okay, next one. There's this thing called true belief theory.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically, so if A is true, when I say the letter A, it can be anything. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like A could be like,
Equals 11. A can be equal.
or it doesn't have to be a number. It can be anything.
It can be an elephant.
So if where's my other paper? Okay, so basically, Marcelino, if A is true, then B is true. So that means if B is true, A is true. You get me?
No.
What don't you get?
So A equals what?
No, it doesn't have to equal anything. It's not math.
I know, but like, what is A?
It's just anything. It could be like, okay, it could go like this, Marcelino. If this card has 4 sides,
yeah,
then it has 4 lines.
Yes.
So if it has 4 lines, it has 4 sides.
Yeah.
So if it has 4 sides, then what must be true?
They all have 4 sides.
Yes. So if they all have 4 sides, they all have 4 lines.
Yeah.
Or not lines, but
like edges.
Yes. Like this is one edge. So, sorry, I shouldn't have said lines. Edges. So, so if A,
Mm-hmm.
you get it?
Yeah.
So, but there's another thought experiment that kind of disproves it. So this is called the Gettier's problem, or this cow one. So basically, it's a cow. Sorry, not a cow.
A donkey.
No.
Get out of my swamp.
I blinked out. Okay. So there's a house in the middle of a farm. Like this. Where's my pencil? It's like this, look. Like in Mexico, you know how we have a lot of land?
Yeah.
Like this, look. Look, it's like this.
Mm-hmm. In the middle.
Yeah, so there's a little house and there's a lot of land.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're inside of the house and you own a cow.
Mm.
Right?
Yes.
And stop. I'm checking the time.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm checking. You're inside. Stop. Pay attention. Okay. So you're inside the house and you look out the window and you see your cow. So your cow's there and you believe that the cow is there, right? Like you just saw it with your own eyes. Excuse me. So, wait, come get closer. So basically, if the cow leaves, but you can still you still see that the cow's, you don't see, but you still know that the cow's in your field. Like it's not gonna leave your field, but you cannot see it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still there, right?
Yeah. How do you know it's still there?
Exactly, you don't. You don't know. But you just know it's there, but even though you can't see it. So then, a mailman
Oh, mailman. What? A mailman what?
Oh, a mailman comes, leaves mail at your door, and you ask him, "Hey, can you see my cow?" And the mailman looks, and he sees what looks like to be a cow. It looks like a cow, right? It looks, but what the mailman actually saw was a big piece of paper that had like it was white, big piece of paper, and had black spots on it, like a cow.
Like a cow.
No. Colored of a cow. And then the big piece of paper was blown by the wind, and it landed on top of a bush, shaped
Cow.
like a cow. So when the mailman saw it, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's your cow right there." And he tells the guy inside the house, he's like, "Yeah, your cow's over there." And then, so the guy believes it. He believes that his cow's over there, but
It's not.
it's not. Sit down right here. Even though he thinks his cow's right there, it's not. It's somewhere else.
In the field.
So this kind of like, this proves what I told you before this, how if this has 4 edges, it's gonna be, what did I say?
A.
No, 4 edges.
It's gonna be A. Remember?
4 sides. 4 edges, 4 sides, right?
Yes.
So for this, the cow one, it kind of disproves it, right? Okay, so the next one is rationalism and imperialism. I can't pronounce it. So, like, what do you think of this so far from what I've just told you? From any of it?
Why are you doing this in school? Sounds useless.
It's useless? I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Especially, like, questions. That wasn't even a question. So rationalism is like the idea to have like something you know. Like you just know how to breathe, right?
Yeah.
Like you just know that.
How to walk.
Well, you learn how to walk,
How to blink.
blink. You just know that stuff. You don't get taught, right?
How to move.
Mhm. But then imperialism is like the opposite of that. They're like these two things are completely opposite.
So like
Imperialism is like things you have to learn,
walking,
like walking.
sports,
Yes.
math, science, social studies, grammar.
Oh, and then this last one. It's called the Ship of Theseus. Have you heard of it?
No.
What do you think it is?
Boat.
Uh-huh.
What?
Keep going.
A boat, and it was the owner. His name was Theseus.
Okay, so imagine a boat. Ready?
Can I make one?
No.
Please?
No. So imagine a boat and has a bunch of pieces. Look, a bunch of wooden pieces, right? So in the time of 100 years, like 1 year, stop. Like the first 3 years, you take a piece of wood out because it got rotten and old and nasty, and you put in a brand new one. Is that the same boat?
The whole thing or just that piece?
Is that still the Ship of Theseus?
No,
Why not?
because it has a completely different part inside of it.
But what about the rest of it?
Well, it's are eventually gonna replace it.
Why makes you say that?
Because if one piece rotted, the other piece will eventually rot.
Okay, I'm getting there. So over a long period of time, they take one piece out and then put in a brand new one, and eventually
Do the whole thing.
It's a brand new boat, as in not brand new boat, but it has brand new pieces, but it's still called the ship of Theseus. But here's the catch. You know all the pieces of wood that they took out, they were bad, they were rotten.
Yeah.
And they didn't throw them out. They kept them saved. So they have all of them,